Neha Banerjee.
Yes, sir.
You share qualities with Mamata Banerjee?
So that's a tricky question, in fact. So in terms of qualities, I would say that a lady, breaking up years of one, rules of one political regime, and then establishing her own political ideas in a state so deeply infested with politics for such a long time, that is a commendable issue. If I would have to share something with her, then it may be that commitment, that dedication to do something apart from all the negativities and all the obstacles that we face.
And any negative trait which you share with her?
Okay. So I think being too verbose and being too verbal about issues surrounding me can be.
Can become.
Yes.
Okay, no problem, Neha. Neha, you are from Kolkata. Yeah.
Yes.
What is the origin of Kolkata?
So the origin of Kolkata, as many people say, that it was founded by Job Charnock and in the year 1698. But if we look into the etymology of the word Kolkata, it comes from the word Kali Khetra. So it is the place where goddess Kali resided, right from the times of Mughal Pargana, when it was a Mughal Pargana. And after that, the Kolkata that has evolved since then is mainly one of the presidential towns under the British regime. And then it is mainly known for its its contribution to Indian nationalism and its cultural and scientific evolution since then.
Neha, you're coming from Bengal, and I can see that you mentioned that your family income is around 50,000 rupees.
Yes, sir.
Then why are you not falling in this EWS category?
So my family income is 50,000, but when I was applying for the civil services, I was earning around 90,000 per month because of my software job. So I shouldn't fall under EWS.
But what are the criteria for the EWS? Whether the person's own salary has to be counted, and for how much period one should have been earning that much to fall out of the EWS?
In my understanding, the EWS was regarding your family income. It considered your family income since the last one taxation year. So it was around 8 lakhs per annum for the last taxation year. And
anyway, you were working with Adobe.
yes,
And Adobe, if we consider from open source to proprietary software, Adobe is on the other extreme, where its reputation is of not sharing, rather being an anti-share platform, be it almost all softwares, that includes the Acrobat itself. What do you find about while working with Adobe about this philosophy of not sharing? Do you think that was a company philosophy, or it just a product that's in the market?
So a lot of Adobe's product, like people are usually familiar with Photoshop and with Acrobat Reader. So a lot of them were actually acquired by Adobe, and a lot of that also catched eyebrows when these mergers and acquisitions were done. In the US, some antitrust laws were also filed against Adobe. So if the technology is not indigenously built by a company, then sir, I think it's a bit of a problem to open source the code base for that product. So probably that is the philosophy behind keeping. And sir, Adobe, it's not that it's not open source, because usually Adobe's business policy is to have many services accumulated under one platform and then charge a lump sum business revenue from the buyer of that product.
I was listening carefully when we were discussing CM of Bengal. If you look at the current Indian political scape, you'll realize that she's the only woman in a seat of power. What happened down the line in 70 years that we as a nation, we had more women chief minister when we got freedom than we have now. Why women are not reaching to the seat of power nowadays, one? And it's not just the question of India. Actually, world over, we are seeing leaders with the image of being anti-women getting popularly elected. Do you believe that feminism or the women in power bad patch is going on?
So I believe that political empowerment of women is a very important vertical when we consider women's empowerment. But sir, if we look at the system, the entire political democratic system which exists in our country, or maybe the masculine nationalism that is rising in many countries other than India, like Hungary and Russia. Sir, I believe that women are afraid to join politics because it has been so much laid with criminalization. It is so much concerned with criminalization. We find out that, as Association of Democratic Reforms reports point out, that criminalization of politics has been very high. And we find a lot of money and muscle power going on inside the Indian political system. So probably that deters women from joining clean politics.
So, I mean, these elements are successfully shooing away women. That's a
Yes, sir, that is a cause of concern, that women are deterred from joining politics. But sir, I also believe that, like, if we look into our panchayati system, then we have 33% reservation of women. But sir, in most of the cases, we find that women are backed by men, and they are just used as proxies by the village headmen to pass their own schemes under the name of women. So I think, and sir, one more thing is the rise of, which I call the rise of, elite feminism, like where we look into feminism only in issues which are not directly related to concerns of a common woman maybe a common rural women in India. And